off, I'm taking my L'Oreal Lumi Magique foundation and I am just buffing that all over my face. This is a beautiful luminous foundation. Then I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Conceal to conceal and highlight, so in the usual places that you would usually apply it. And then I'm just blending it out with a pointed foundation brush to make sure it is nice and blended. Then I'm going to set that concealer with my Rimmel Stay Matte in the shade Transparent. And then for the rest of my face, I'm taking a darker Inglot pressed powder just to really warm up my skin so that I'm not very pale. Then I just went ahead and done my usual brow routine, so whatever yours is, go ahead and do it. Then I'm going to take MAC's Uninterrupted eyeshadow, which is a lovely orangey brown. And I am buffing that into my crease and up to my brow bone. And then the same shadow on a very small detailer brush, I'm going to start to map out where my eyes are going to begin and end. So just work that along your lash line, only lower down, and instead of bringing it into your inner corner, bring it out and down along your nose and just buff everything out nice and seamlessly. Then I took a darker brown eyeshadow on an angled eyeliner brush and I just outlined exactly what I just did, just to add a bit of dimension and deepen it up along the bottom part. So just drag that along the line you just created. Then I took the same eyeshadow on a larger blending brush and I just started to buff that onto my eyelid on the outer half, so onto my lid and up into my crease, just really smoking it out. Then to brighten up the inner corner of my eyelid, I took a more silvery highlighter shade and then I also used that to highlight my brow bone, so I just worked that along my eyebrow. And then I took a deeper, more goldy, champagne-y highlight and I just popped that right on top to add a bit of warmth, and then I just went back in and buffed everything out. For bronzer, I took my NYC Sunny Bronzer, and this is once again just to warm up my skin. There's no real technique here, I'm just basically buffing it on the outer perimeters of my face, just making everything a bit more bronzed. And then for highlight, I took my Inglot Sparkling Dust in the shade 2, which is a beautiful peach, to highlight my cheekbones and my cupid's bow. Next, for the nose, I took this cool toned brown and I started off at the tip of my eyebrow and I just kind of buffed it in and started to work it along the outer bridge of my nose and just blended everything out so it looked nice and seamless, but still quite dramatic and defined, so that it gives the illusion of a deer nose. And then I took a white eyeshadow and worked it along my nose, my forehead and under my eyes. Next, I took a matte black eyeshadow. You could use gel liner, but I found that this was less messy and easier to use and work with. I just drew a line straight across my nose and filled everything in. Next, I took the shade 335 from Inglot, which is a beautiful brick reddy orange, and I started to basically apply this anywhere you would usually contour, except you want to go a lot more heavy-handed than you usually would, because this just brings so much warmth and it just reminds you of Bambi with the orangey brown colors. And just make sure you buff that into your hairline and just work it all around the perimeters of your forehead and along your jawline also. Then I took Chickadee from Makeup Geek, which is just a flat out orange, and this is just going to start to create that ombre effect and just blend everything out nicer. So basically join this on to where you just applied the previous color and just buff everything out so it looks nice and seamless, so it just kind of, you know, runs into the other color. And then I took those two brown shades I used previously and I started to carve out my cheekbones, because Bambi always had carved out contoured cheeks, right? Yeah, I thought so too. And then I took the white eyeshadow again and I just worked that up into the other orangey eyeshadow to really blend everything out. And then I took my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk This is kind of like a must-have for this look unless you have a white eyeliner, and you want to just place this on your cheekbone and just start to twist it inwards. You don't want to move it, just twist it, and this will give you the nice pigmented dots that you need. So just work that along your cheekbone. You don't have to follow any particular pattern. You can go with whatever one you want, but just make sure that whatever you do, that it is even on both sides. So make sure you keep checking back to each side to make sure they're even. And then I just started to place small little dots in between everything, and then just right beside my nose, almost like you would place little freckles. This step is optional, but I decided to just place some above my brows just to kind of add to the look. I don't really know why. But yeah, just once again, try to make them even. So, you know, start on the same place in each side. So the beginning of your brow, your arch, the tail of your brow, you guys know the drill. You want them to be symmetrical. And then I decided that I wanted to pop just a few more on my nose on the darker shadow to really make the white dots pop and just look a bit more freckly. Then to give myself the nice wide Bambi eyes, I used the same pencil to just blank out my eyelashes and my waterline and just below it. And then just fill in right before where you started the brown line for your eye. Then I went back to the dots above my brows and just added a bit of brown shadow, kind of around half of each of the circles to add a bit of dimension to them. Then I decided to just apply mascara, mainly because I just really wasn't bothered applying lashes, but if I was wearing this out, or if you were, I would recommend nice fluttery false lashes just to really add to the look, but I just really wasn't bothered. Same with the lower lash line, you could apply some individuals or something like that here, but I just decided to draw some on with a pointed angle brush and some brown shadow, just because it was a little bit easier. But if I was going out, I'd probably apply some lashes. But yeah, just make sure if you are drawing them on and you don't want to use lashes, that they're even on both sides and nice and thin and wispy. And then I just grabbed the brown shadow and basically joined my eyeshadow onto the eyelashes that I started to draw, just to connect everything together and make them look a bit more like eyes. Then moving on to the lips, I use MAC's Stone lip liner, which is just a nice grey brown. It's a bit more cool toned and just gives you a deeper colour lip without being too dark, because everything else is so warm. It's nice to have a cool toned lip. And then I used the NYX Butter lipstick, which is just a nice peachy nude shade. I just applied that into the center of my lips, and this just really kind of plumps them up. And that is everything. I really love this look. I hope you guys do too, and if you try it out, make sure to tag me on Instagram. And yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.